Oh dear, Lando, what was that? In fact, McLaren, what the hell was that strategy? Come on, Lewis, you can pass George. Come on, Lewis, you can pass him. No, he can't pass him. And George and the Russell has won the race. Wait a minute, he hasn't won. No, his car was underweight. Oh my goodness, Lulu's won the race. I can't, no, not Lulu again. Oh, for flip's sake. It's your own fault, George. I told you to eat that extra Greggs sausage roll before you went to bed. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Yes, it was the last Grand Prix before the big long summer break when they can all get together in the hot tub. No, that's not, no, that's something else I'm thinking of. Anyway, yes, it was Spa-Francorchamps. Yes, the Belgium Grand Prix. And what can we say about the race? Well, I have to say it was a little bit boring, in fact. It was a strategical race, which unfortunately in a lot of cases means not a very good one. No, because strategy comes into play and nothing really happens out on track. There was no really sort of any collisions, I don't believe. Guan Yu Zhou, I think, was the only retirement, wasn't he? Apart from that, absolutely nada. But there was some good things happening around the field. One of those was Maxi Boy Verstappen didn't win the race. Now, all the Max Verstappen fan clubs said on Twitter just before the race about his 10th-place grid penalty, don't worry about it. He had that a couple of years ago at Spa and he still won the race. Didn't win it this time though, did he? Which just goes to prove my point that I said weeks and weeks ago, that is since Adrian Newey has announced his departure from Red Bull are definitely, they've gone down a notch. Not much, but just gone down a little notch. Now, of course, Maxi Boy is still there. I do believe he will still win this championship, definitely. But you can definitely see that the performance level of Red Bull is starting to sort of peter out a little bit. I think he's got enough points in hand to still win the championship. If he just finishes second, third, fourth, stuff like that, I think he's still got enough in the tank to still win the championship. But he's got to be careful. Now, unfortunately, all the cars behind him sort of mix it up, so there's no clear sort of number two to take on Max, because we've got the Ferraris who had a sort of mediocre race at Belgium, has to be said. They started off really well, but then they started to sort of drop off towards the end, and Carlos Sainz's strategy, I don't know what the point of that was, to be honest. I know he was in the lead, but he didn't finish the race in the lead, did he? So I don't understand what that was. And then of course McLaren were just being McLaren again. I didn't quite understand the strategy there for Lando and Oscar Jack Pastry. Yes, I didn't quite understand that. But of course, as I say, the cars behind Maxi Boy Verstappen are all mixing it up. So there's no clear sort of number two. We've got the McLarens, we've got Lando in there, we've got Pastry in there as well now. We've got the two Ferraris who I have to say are sort of dropping off a little bit in terms of performance levels. And then, of course, we've got the Mercedes duo. Yes, Lulu, I'm sure he's doing this on purpose now, ever since I said he's not going to win a race this year. This is now his second win. 110th, is it? Something like that, anyway. Oh, my goodness. Now, of course, it was a lucky win because of Hamilton? No, Russell. See, I've got Lulu on the brain. That's my problem. I got Lulu on the brain. Lulu! Yes, because of George Russell. Now, unfortunately, I have to say, rules are rules. And if you break the rules, then you have to take a penalty. And it looks like it was justified because the car was weighed and it was underweight. Now, some of you might be saying, oh, that's why Lewis couldn't pass George. I don't think that would have made much difference. It was only a couple of kilos. So I don't think that would have been the underlying factor. But unfortunately, in the rules, you have to be of a certain weight. And George Russell's car was under that weight. As I say, if he'd have had that extra Greggs sausage roll before he went to bed, he would have been... What do you mean it's not how it works? Whatever. If he'd have had a couple of... there's an opportunity here for Greggs to do some brilliant marketing. Brilliant. Just, market George Russell. Tell him to eat more of your pastries. Yes, your sausage rolls and all that lovely stuff, because he's clearly too thin because he was underweight. All right, I know it's the car. Just shut up now. So yes, unfortunately, George the Russell, and I've got to say it now. Don't cry, George. Don't cry. I expect he was crying after that result because, oh my goodness, fancy winning a race, going up to the celebrations, the podium, spraying the champagne everywhere, and then literally, I don't know how long it was afterwards because I was only watching the highlights. I will say about an hour, just to be fair. It could have been longer than that. You suddenly get told, no, actually, not only have you not won the race, but you've been disqualified from the race, so you've lost a whole 25 potential points. What a pisser that must have been for George the Russell. And I do feel sorry for him. I really do, because he deserved that win. He really did. But unfortunately, in Formula One, it is a sport and it has to abide by rules. If you don't abide by those rules, then other teams will just do what they like and cheat their way to the top. Like any sport in existence, if you don't have rules in place, everyone will just cheat. That, unfortunately, is human nature, and that's exactly what will happen. So the rules in this situation have to be there, and I agree with them. If the car was underweight, then yes, he should have been disqualified. I feel very, very sorry for, as I said in the Channel 4 commentary, that it's basically the engineer who is responsible for the weight. So I feel very, very sorry for him. He must be absolutely gutty with himself. I hope he doesn't, take it to heart too much. He obviously made a mistake. That mistake, I believe, was just a couple of kilos. That could happen to anyone. I mean, if that was me, I'd never get the weights right because I'm hopeless at maths. They'd all be about a ton overweight. I tell you, what? Crawling around the track at about 10 miles an hour, if that was me. But yeah, it was just a couple of kilos, I do believe. So I hope he doesn't beat himself up too much. Everyone in life makes mistakes. Everyone. Yes, even me. As long as you learn from those mistakes moving forward, that's the most important thing. And I'm pretty sure, in fact, I know 100% he won't be making that mistake again in a hurry. Of course, George the Russell, he would be as polite as ever and to his engineer or, his team manager, whoever it was that makes that final decision on the weights of the car and say, look, don't worry about it. Because that's the kind of personality I get that comes from George, that he would say, we win together and we lose together. So, it's not anything to... He certainly wouldn't be going around there throwing his crash helmet around and, doing Ayrton Senna style stuff to sort of make a point. He certainly doesn't seem like that kind of a person. So, he would just say, yep, okay, on that occasion, we failed. Let's just move on and what have you. So there you go. That was the Belgium Grand Prix. As I say, not very exciting to watch. Very little action on the circuit, bar the first lap, I do believe. Lando Norris, of course, went very, very wide, got caught up on the grass and lost a few positions. And Maxi Boy Verstappen, he was up there, I think, with Russell. He's now being promoted to fourth, I think, isn't he? Something like that, anyway. So he was up there, but he didn't win the race. And he didn't even look like he had the pace to win the race either, to be fair. So, yeah, I definitely think this is danger days for Red Bull. Personally, I think it's great. If we come back after this big long summer break and there's Ferrari, there's Mercedes, there's Red Bull and there's McLaren all in this mix and we're getting different winners, I think it could turn out to be a cracking end of the 2024 season. I really do, and it's completely surprised me because, as I said, 4 races into this season, I was ready to come on here and say, I'm sorry, I'm done. I've been watching Formula One since 1988, so that would have been a serious decision for me to say, that's it, I'm done. But the season is just, these last 5 or 6 races, it has just come alive. And great because we've got competition. We've got genuine competition now for the next half of the season, and they're going to be throwing races at us for this next half because there's not a lot of time to get the next race. I think it's still 12 rounds to go. Not a lot of time to get all those races in, so they're going to be throwing at us as soon as we come back from the break, which I think is the 23rd of next month, 23rd of August, next Grand Prix. So yeah, and I think it could turn out to be a Bobby Dazzler. Yes, I'm hoping so anyway. Or it could turn out to be completely boring and Max could just show his dominant pace once again and it could be all over. I'm hoping it's going to be the former, not the latter, to be honest, because I just love to see it. And if we can carry that momentum through into 2025, that would be even better. Now, the only thing that's disappointing is if this all starts to get really great, 2026, all the regulations change and it's going to reset everything again. This just seems to happen all the time in Formula One. It goes through cycles, doesn't it? And this, I'm not looking forward to 2026 now, which I was. In fact, I wanted this the next season out of the way, but I'm not looking forward to 2026 because I want to see what develops the rest of this season, the next season now. So it's just one of those things. But anyway, 2026 is a long way away, so we'll concentrate on the rest of 2024 before we go into 2025 and see what happens. But I'm calling it now, as the thumbnail of this video will say, Max Verstappen, it's over. Of course, it's not over for him as a race driver and a race winner. What I'm saying is the dominance of Max Verstappen, I believe, has turned a corner. Now, it could come back, but I don't think it will. I don't think it will. As I say, he's still going to be there. He's still going to be winning races, but I think, you know, the performance level is not as it was at the beginning of the year. And I still put that down to Adrian Newey and everything else that has gone on at Red Bull. So many things have gone on. It's just taken their eye off the ball. Reminds me very much of Williams back in 1997 and 98, but I won't go into that again because you've all heard that story millions of times. But that's what it sort of reminds me of. And so I just think it's great. I really do. Obviously, a lot of people say, yeah, you just don't like... No, it's nothing to do with not liking Max Verstappen. What I like about Formula One is competition. I don't like dominance. Dominance is fine, because if Max is, you know, out in front, what else can he do? He can't slow down and let the other cars pass. That's fine. I understand that, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I like it when there's other teams fighting with each other for race wins, for second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth on the grid. And, you know, that's it. That, to me, is quintessentially Formula One. And I do believe, although I say this tentatively because I've made a right cock up about Lulu, I do believe that Formula One could now be turning a corner for the rest of the season. I'm hoping so anyway. And as for Lulu, bugger you, Lulu. You're doing this on purpose now just to wind me up. So 2 wins for Lulu. I said he wouldn't get any. And I have to say, he's showing superb form. He really is. He didn't manage to get past George and Russell, but he really did show some form in that race. And if George couldn't win it, then Lulu was definitely a deserved second winner. And that's what happened. So well done to Lulu. And will you... bloody hell. No, wrong hand. God, my shirt's all ripped. What have I been doing? What have I been doing? It's all right. It's a gardening shirt, so that's why it's all ripped. Yes, it's not my normal shirt. Anyway, so yes, it's all right. I didn't suddenly turn into a werewolf in the night, and I've just, you know, returned to. Well, maybe I have. Anyway, so yes, so I'm hoping that F1 has turned a corner. Yes, obviously I could be completely wrong, and then we're back to Max dominance when he comes back. He'll win every single race, and I'll be going, oh, boring, 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 and then that will be it, won't it? But anyway, so yes, special message to Lulu. Please stop winning now. It's not funny anymore. I know you're doing it on purpose just to wind me up, but I'm not laughing anymore. It's not funny, okay? It's not funny. I've almost lost my bear because of you. Almost, yes, but not quite. So please don't win any more races at Mercedes. Thank you very much. Anyway, that was my quick review of the Spa Grand Prix. Of course, now we got a big break until the next one. As I say, 23rd of August. So this will be my last sort of mini review of the Grand Prix, which is pretty close to when I saw it. It was only about 10 hours ago, something like that. So yes, I'll be back as normal for the next Grand Prix, of course, which I'll say will be on the 23rd. Apart from that, I will be taking a little summer break myself. Yes, a little summer break from Formula One to recharge the batteries. I will be back on Thursday for Hookster Talks, but that will be the last one, and then we'll be taking a little summer break, a little saison, as they like to say, before we come back, because I'll tell you, it is quite knackering making F1 gaming videos and talking about F1 as well, your brain does sort of try to, I can't quite disconnect from Formula One sometimes. So yeah, I shall be taking a little break myself, and then we'll be back refreshed and ready to go again. Yes, now during the summer break, I will be back for a few special live streams. Yes, a few special live streams, but not actually here talking to you. They will be done on the PlayStation. So look out for them. They'll be running through the summer, hopefully, if I can get things sorted out. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. You've been awesome as always. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the Grand Prix. What did you think of Max not winning? And what did you think about George Russell's penalty? Do you think it was deserved? I don't think there could be any question about that, because it was said to be underweight. Broke the rules, so you have to pay for it, unfortunately. So anyway, thanks everyone. You've been awesome as always. And I'll catch you in the next video.